My name is Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent, revenue officer, teaching instructor with the Internal Revenue Service. I was an instructor also for the Offer and Compromise program. I've worked thousands of cases. I worked at IRS, over a decade, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I take a very relaxed look into things you need to know. What I try to do is I try to open the curtain so you can see inside IRS. So I go ahead and tell you the things that you really needed to know. There's no sales pitch here for me. It's more for information to you. I want to talk to you today about the IRS National Standards. You know, when I started working at IRS never had a national standard. So basically, you could go ahead and put whatever you wanted for expenses on a financial statement. So what IRS did is if you owe tax debt, IRS had to come up with a system of fairness all across the United States. How are we fair? How are we fair in New York? How are we fair in Texas and Florida, Missouri, Iowa? How is there a fairness about how we judge people? So what IRS did is, in conjunction with the Department of Labor, they went ahead and got statistics to find out how much the average expenses are in a particular county. So if you go ahead and Google IRS National Standards, you populate your state first, it'll pull up every county. So if you put Florida, Broward County, it pulls up the national standard for housing and utilities. So IRS has 4 standards that they use in their national standard program. So IRS will in fact use a national standard. That is, they will control and dictate to you how much you can spend in areas of housing and utilities, food and clothing, vehicle payment or vehicle payments, and operation costs of a vehicle. You must live within those standards. So to create the fairness, IRS with the Department of Labor, at anywhere in the United States, you can find out what IRS is going to allow you to spend in those areas. So once again, the National Standard Program, if you look at your 433A or look at your 433F, they are for food and clothing, they're for housing and utilities, and they are for car operation and car payment. Those 4 categories, IRS determines what you can make. Now, what happens if you make less? If you make less, IRS is only going to give you what you in fact pay. If you make more, IRS is going to say, sorry, Charlie, we're only going to allow you this much. If you have money left over, you're well over, you got to pay us. So if in Broward County, where I live in Florida, which is in Fort Lauderdale, if Broward County says my national standards that I need to live on is 5,000, I'm making 7,000, they want another $2,000 a month. Now you have to understand this about the IRS national standards for medical, okay, for insurance, if you have a student debt, you have alimony you're paying. IRS will allow dollar for dollar in the area of medical and certain debts. They do not allow for credit cards. Credit cards is not part of the national standard. So IRS will take your financial statement. They're going to look at your income, and remember, your expenses are going to be limited by actual expenses and the national standards in the categories of national standards. So once again, if you have medical bills that you're paying, you have prescriptions that you're paying, you have a court order payment that you're paying, you have a student loan that you're paying, they're going to allow those expenses. What IRS does is they take a look at your finances and they start chopping them down, and they say, this is the only thing we're going to allow you to live on. And what's really important about that is when IRS judges or grades your case or closes your case, it's going to be true if your case is going in hardship, payment agreement, or offer and compromise. You must know the National Standards Program, especially where you live, so you understand how IRS, in fact, is going to grade your financial statement. I have people that come in here all the time and they're making $10,000 a month, God bless them. In Broward County, if IRS says you can only live on 7,000, they have a $3,000 payment to IRS. Now, there's a lot of tricks and methods that you can use to make sure you get in the standard, and that's where a professional helps. So I hope I did the best to explain the National Standard Program to you. It's all over the United States, every county you can look. By the way, if this information is helpful to you, it's very, very important you give me a subscription. YouTube loves me to have subscriptions. It lets me know my content is good. Please like me, subscribe to me if you would. And by the way, if you have questions, you ask them. This YouTube came from someone who said to me, "Can you explain the national standards?" Any question you have regarding the collection or audit division of the IRS, I'm really happy to answer because I want to give you the information. We're always available for consultation or help. I believe in my own heart we're one of the premier firms in the United States. Thank you very much.